Hi everybody, this is Don Derwin, and I'm going to try and teach you guys how to edit the flight tuning file to make the Flying Inside Bell 206 helicopter fly better and to hover, because I tried to hover it and I can't hover it. And I changed a couple of settings in the flight tuning, and I'm able to hover it now. And at first I bought this about maybe a week ago, and they did an update already, and this is January 5th. They're January 7th now. And they did an update on the 5th, and I noticed a couple things. They changed some things, so they changed something, and because they realized that it don't fly that well. But the way my settings work better than theirs. But I don't know. I've been messing with the helicopters in FSX, before, and even before then, and I was convinced that if they just can't make helicopters fly, period. In Flight Simulator X, this is the only place where maybe I think they got a handle on it, FS 2020. But I mean, because they would always, FSX, once they started going goofy and and they would just go around spinning around in circles, and there's no way to correct anything. But I think they fly better here. But I've never flown a helicopter. I've always wanted to. I've flown regular airplanes, but helicopters are just too expensive, so I never took the training, But that I learned a lot when I went into the Navy. I learned, everything. I read the books on, the FAA books on, how helicopters fly and all that stuff. And actually, helicopters are very complex, piece of machinery, and FSX was not able to model a helicopter very well, and I mean, just at all, I could never fly it. I tried so many hours. I've tried in FSX, and I was never able to do it, and I was convinced that they just can't do it. But here in FS 2020, I think they modeled it pretty well. And what my surprise is when I was trying some flight simulators out, and I tried DCS World, and I was just happened to, the F-14. I was trying to fly that thing, and I went and I wanted a real flight manual. I wanted to see how accurate the DCS flight model was, and to my surprise, everything was by the book. I mean, the F-14, the pre-flight procedures, everything exactly the way it's supposed to be done. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow, DCS, well, hey, I'm like, digital combat simulator, I figured, just a game, to shoot them up, and, but then I started, learning a little bit more about DCS World, and they say that those helicopters actually really fly just like the real aircraft does in real life. And so I started to fly the helicopters in DCS World, and it's pretty cool. It's a little bit, I think it's harder in Flight Simulator 2020, but I was trying to hover this Flying Inside helicopter, because that's the first thing you learn how to do is hover. And if you can't hover a helicopter, you're not doing it. And I could never hover the Flying Inside helicopter. So, but I found a setting, because I've been doing the flight simulators for like 30 years, and I'm 60 years old now, but I know where a lot of the settings are, because I mess with the flight models, and I was learning the C++ code and XML, and I did that for 2 or 3 years, and I was actually trying to make my own airplane, and you know, I mean, I did a lot of stuff in it, but and then you know, with the G Max, and I mean, but you know, I gotta hand it. I mean, it's pretty complicated. I mean, so I just figured, you know what, I'm just gonna quit. But I did learn a lot, you know. But I just want to show you guys how you can make the helicopter fly better. And I did, and it does fly better. So I'm able to hover it now. So go into Community folder, and go into FlyInside, and Sim Objects, and Airplanes, the Bell 206, and then here, go down here, and to my surprise, that all these, I mean, they did take pretty much everything from FSX and put it into Flight Simulator 2020, which I wasn't really aware of how. I thought it was, you know, completely different, but now I'm starting to learn it more, that it's basically the same thing as FSX, you know, like they even took the air traffic control right from FSX into Flight Simulator 2020, and it sucked. And FSX, it sucks now, and I don't like it, you know. But they basically did take everything from FSX. But anyway, so I know a little bit about this. And you go into Flight Model here. And you open it up in Notepad. You know, at first it'll ask you, what do you want to open it up in? And just say Notepad. You know, Notepads, you know, like this here, because otherwise you. But anyway, Flight Model. All this used to be in one, but they cut it up in little bits and pieces. Yeah, this is all the data and everything on all the airplanes, and you can mess around and change all this stuff around. You know, I mean, if you knew what you were doing, and you know, but if you screw something up here, you might screw it up pretty bad. I mean, some of the stuff's pretty complicated, but I wouldn't try to change something around unless you really knew exactly what it was, did some research on it. But yeah, you can do it, not a problem. But and if you want, make a backup copy before you mess with it. But go into flight tuning, and at first this new update, January 5th update. Okay. I'm just going to tell you that I changed stuff. I mean, it was this number here, 0.001. That's what all these numbers were here. Like pitch stability. Like pitch stability is like you push your nose down and you push your nose back up again. Okay, roll stability is like when you spin. That's roll stability. And yaw stability is like if you're flat on a table and you go from right to left and you're flat. You know, that's yaw. And so I tried 3 and 3 here. The yaw is actually, to be honest with you, I don't think the yaw is actually very accurate at all there, because it's actually more. Because if I've flown them in DCS world, and I was looking at the way they act now, and I actually think you probably should have a lot less yaw stability, but it flies good, you know. So I wouldn't want to mess with it, because it seems like it's too stable there. But because in DCS world, it's a little bit different. It's hard. I'm not a helicopter pilot, but in DCS world, it seems. Actually, you should probably try it out. The DCS world is pretty good. But they say it But anyway, I moved these 4, 4, and 4. Because I tried 3 and 3 here, and I tried to leave this the same as 0. And because at first all these were all 0. But after the update, they made them 0.001. I think that did help a little bit, but I don't think it's actually enough. But right now, I got the flight simulator loaded, and all my settings are at 4. Now I'm going to try and hover in the flight simulator. And then what I'm going to do is then I'm going to change it back to where they had it, at this number here. And then see if I can still hover. But because I could not hover before when these were all at 0. And it was kind of irritating. But a helicopter, that's the first thing you learn how to do is hover. But anyway, flight simulator is loaded, and here I'll try and hover here. I didn't mean to do that, but it just happened. But anyway, alright. I mean, I didn't do that, the thing did it. Okay, now I'm going to try and hover here. So I'm going to... It is hard to do, but it should be possible. Okay, here, second, there. I mean, I'm able to do it. Let's just see if I can hover in one spot. I mean, I think I can do it, but I mean, it is kind of hard to do anyway. But okay, now I'm able to do it now. All right, I'm hovering, because in DCS, I mean, they say it takes like about 30 hours to learn in a real helicopter. Somebody was like saying, or I mean, in real life, to hover. You look on some videos on YouTube, they'll say hovering, it's pretty hard to do once you learn it. Because with the helicopter, when you do one thing, to a helicopter, it reacts because you did that. And so once you do something, you change the power, your rudder is going to change. You pull up your... Once you do something to the helicopter, something's going to change, and you got to keep on adjusting it. And that's what the helicopter guy was saying. You know, the instructor is like I like this analogy. Like the helicopter is like I mean, an airplane is like a bowl with the ball in the middle of it. It goes back and forth. You know, a bowl with the ball in the middle of it. He says a helicopter is like if you got the bowl upside down and the ball's on top of the bowl, and you know you're moving it around, you know, upside down. You know, and you know what? That's pretty right. I mean I can say that that's perfect, you know, but they were also saying you change one thing in a helicopter, you got to correct it. You know, if you change power, you got to correct something. You know, if you change the cyclic, you got to correct something. You know, so you're constantly adjusting stuff. But the way that the helicopter was before, I could not hover at all. Period. I mean, I could do it in DCS, you know, but it is hard to do. But I think it's about right here. I mean, it's still hard to do now. But I mean, I could probably even put more stability in it. It would be easier yet, you know. But I don't think that would be true to life, though. But here. And I think too, the way it falls is a little bit better, because here it looks more like it's a little bit more stable. In other words, because that was a little bit too much there, but I mean, alright. Now I'm not touching the pedals or the cyclic. And here I'm just gonna put some power in. Get the collective more or less. Go up and then down. And see how it falls. It looks better falling now here, you know, because I was thinking about it. It's like all the weight is in the you know, the front part of the helicopter. The weight is here. It should fall here, you know, and it should be not heavy in the, but you know, before I think it wasn't as stable. I mean, all the weight is in that section. That's how it should fall. You know. I mean, I'm just kind of looking at it. It's like, how should it fall? Well, how I think it should fall. You know. But here, I mean, I'm just saying that, you know, it should react that you would think it should do in real life. I mean, how do you think it should fall, in other words. So now I'm going to change this back to where it was before. Before it was at 0. So obviously they realized that it's hard to fly. So they realized something's wrong. So they're trying to correct it. But before, these things were all at 0, 0, 0. But now at the update, they had these. They added this. So I'm going to go put this back. This is after the update. And I think it does fly a little bit better after the update. I mean, after this thing. It just goes to show you that they probably shouldn't have probably put this in the market right away. I'm really upset at this helicopter because, I mean, you know, even I noticed that the beacon, when it flashes, well, here maybe I'll try and show you. It really pissed me off that, because the beacon and the tail lights up, then it goes out, and then it flashes on the ground. It flashes on the ground, and the light's off. I'm like, what the heck? I mean, it's not even timed correctly between the flash on the ground and the flash on the tail. I mean, it's just, I mean, come on. And actually, I was really upset, you know, when I looked at that. I'm like, and then the sound, I added the sound because they were just awful. I mean, I don't know, but I've been doing this for a long time, and you know, I've actually, the one time I was trying to correct the in a Sepasky, you know, Project Open Sky. I used to fly that one. And I was trying to just the aerodynamics, you know, because I wanted the stall speed to be correct. And I was messing with the drag, you know, to get the stall speed perfect. It's like I wanted it to stall perfectly. But then when I was messing with the drag on it, and what I did is I screwed up the fuel. The fuel, because the fuel was all screwed up, you know, so it would run out of fuel quicker. And I'm like, oh man. And so I just I set it all back. Said, all right, well. So that's the one thing too. Another thing too that you could with that I noticed, that you could set this. That's why I said, I'm like, you know, don't mess with the drag, you know. But the empty weight, if this, I found that what this is the empty weight. In other words, this is how many pounds, because if you mess with these right here, it really makes it more real. If you put more weight in here, it would look more like something that's heavy, you know. And that's one of the things that I found, and even in this FS 2020, but even in FSX, that you increase these weights. You know, like if you increase them like maybe 2,000 pounds, 2-3, it feels, I mean, it reacts like it's heavier, even though it's not. It's just how the model is. If you put these all to like 3 pounds, it'll fly around like a piece of paper, you know what I mean, or a little light box, you know. But if you made it heavier, and that's what these things are, to pitch, roll, and yaw. And those, I haven't tried messing with those in this model, but it seems okay. But if you ought to try messing with that a little bit, it would, you know, because even to me, I mean, it flies around like it's like a piece of plastic. I mean, sometimes that's the way I think that they fly around like a piece of plastic, and it, you know, it doesn't feel like it's a 10,000-20,000 pound thing, you know. But you can mess with that if, you know, you wanted to. But I didn't, you know, as of yet. But But yeah, it's pretty interesting. You try and mess with that stuff, but always make a backup copy of something, so you know where all your settings are. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. But all right, now I'm going to try and hover this thing here. Let's make sure I got that right. I saved it. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Okay, back in the flight simulator. I really love the FSX, but I mean, I had this thing all the way from Flight Simulator 3.1, and on a little floppy disk, But I love the, because I'm a real pilot. Also, I started flying airplanes before I joined the Navy. I worked on P3 Orions and then C9s, which is basically DC-9. So, but now I'm just kind of still in love with the flight simulator again. And I really love the program. It's awesome. It would be neat if they had damage, like in DCS World. Actually, I wish the Flight Simulator would look at DCS World and say, hey, you know what? Gotta try and do some of the stuff that they do. But just because when I got my stimulus money, I tried all the programs, P3D and X-Plane, and then I tried DCS World, and just I wanted to try them. I think there's one more. But P3D is same thing as FSX, basically. And that's how I learned how to pause the flight simulator. Like the pause button, it doesn't work. Just hit escape. And there you go. And then, because the pause button don't work. That's one little trick I found. But yeah, I tried all the flight simulators. I just want to try them because they, I just really was impressed with DCS World, because they did the actual flight, and then I tried another airplane, the actual correct, 100% correct by the book, pre-flight, and I'm like, wow. And then I started reading about it more and more, and they're like saying that their aircraft fly just like the real airplane does, and to my surprise, that DCS World they pride themselves on their planes fly just like the real one. And I thought maybe it was just like a shoot 'em up, a video game type thing, but it's a very serious simulation there. So I'm kind of impressed with it, but they're little back in the time, though. The Flight Simulator FS 2020 is way better. As far as visually and all that, but I think their flight models are kind of not all that good, I see their point and how they're trying to do things, but something's a little not exactly right. I think with FS 2020 with their models that I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna try and fly this thing the way it was. Thing. Don't ask me why it always does that. So I'm gonna see if I can hover with the way their update was. Usually I would do this in VR. See if I can hover. Oh. I think they made it a little bit better than the way it was. I can finally get a hover now. There. Well, yeah, it still is a little bit hard like this. I mean, it seems like kind of impossible almost. But, see, I can't really do it as good as the other one. Yeah, see, I can't do it here. Well, alright, well, I guess I can. But now I'm going to try to do that same test. Well, I should go into I mean, I think it's better than it was when it was out like 000. It's better than it was. But here, I'm gonna just leave in all the cyclic and the pedals, and I'm just gonna add the collective, the power. So just a little bit, see how it falls. Oh, not too bad. I think before it was worse. Now I don't know how true that is. I think they... But anyway... No, I should probably just, you know, try to change it back. Just to prove that it actually really is easier. So still, I mean, before when these were all at 0, 0, 0, I couldn't even do it. It did help with that to there. So make sure it's changing yaw, roll, stay with it. I could try changing the no, it's the weight and balance. But I should actually try that one of these times. The MOA. I actually forgot what that moment of inertia. That's what that is. It's the moment of inertia. And it really doesn't change anything, just the way it reacts to how heavy it feels. You know, because I think all FS 2020 planes should actually be a lot more. I mean, like I would maybe just try 2,000 or 3,000 pounds more, or 5,000 on all these, but do them all the same if you're going to do them. If you're going to like 5,000, add, or no, not that much, maybe, or like 2,000, 2,000, and 2,000. See what happens, you know. But I'm not going to do it now, but. And, you know, see what you think. But, yeah, it's the moment of inertia, that's what it is. So, alright, then I definitely changed those. Flight tuning, okay, 444, let's just see how this reacts now. Just to prove that it actually did something. Because before it was changed to the 0.001, they were all at 0, and I couldn't hover at all. And so since the update, they changed it. Oh, I wanted to show you the light. See if they fixed that. I mean, that's just kind of like a no-brainer. I tried to look see if there's any other light that would be doing that. I'm like, no. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if I should even waste my time with that. But they don't right now. They don't have hardly any other helicopters, so. I guess that's where, you know, they figure they got you. You know. Well, we're the only helicopter people that made one, so too bad. But I think there should be a lot better. But here, and see if they fix that light. Started up at dark. And now they're changed. Because the regular helicopter, it's do it a little bit, little bit, little bit. What? Yeah, I think it's easier now. Yeah, so now I can hover. See, look at that. My throttle's not that good here, but yeah, see, it is a lot better to hover. See, now it at least falls a little bit better. So you see here about this. You know, now I think it looks better. I'm just not doing anything, just adding the power. See, now it's more stable. It looks like. See, it does look better. Right, now it didn't flip over. Because it's... Oh. Yeah, it's more stable now. But, I'm gonna try... See about that light. See where I'm at on some Rhinelander. That's where I'm at here. Now let's see about this light here. Watch, see if they fix that. Oh, now it takes long. Okay. Yeah, see, look. See, it's still like that. See, look at the flash there. And I was looking around here and it's like, oh, you know, there's no other light there. See, they still didn't fix that. See, look at this. See how screwed up that is? That this light is not even timed to flash. I mean, come on. You see how screwed up that is? That's why I looked at that and I'm like, man, kind of a model maker. These guys aren't even serious about they can't even get the flash right. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. Yeah, this is where I'm at here. I'm right next to this airport. Anyway, yeah, it's a little bit harder at night. But anyway, I just want to show you guys how to, if you're not aware of how to do a flight model there. So anyway, I think that I covered just about everything. So try it, and it's a lot, a lot nicer to fly. So so thanks for watching, and if I find anything else out, I'll make another video. So, alright, thanks for watching. Okay, catch you later. Okay, bye.